We will now continue on with getting started with HTML5. This information comes from pages HTML 41 through 63, as well as HTML 71 through 79. In this brief video, we will focus on ordered and unordered lists. At this point, you may want to pause the video so that you are able to open your HTML file in Notepad, as we will be editing this document throughout the brief video. Just in case you're unfamiliar with opening your HTML file in Notepad after you've already saved it, I want to take you through the process. You want to be sure that you have Windows Explorer open and you're able to access your flash drive. You should have the ITD-110 folder. You can double click on that. You should also have your web-practice folder. You could double click there. And if you follow the steps in the Create Ordered and Unordered List folder, your folder structure should look this way. In order to open our practice file, we're going to right-click on the file entitled week6.html. You'll mouse over Open With and select the browser of your choice. Of course, mine is Firefox. By choosing Firefox as my program to open the HTML file with, I am viewing the file in the web browser. In this particular view, I'm unable to make changes to the code. So, we want to open this file in Notepad. One way that you can do this, return to Windows Explorer, right-click on your HTML file, and open with. You may or may not have Notepad as an option here. If you do not have Notepad as an option, I'll show you another route. You can actually open Notepad, start All Programs Accessories Notepad, or searching Notepad in your applications, and you'll simply choose File, Open. For the type of file, because we are currently in Notepad, it's going to choose text.txt. Select all files here. You will see week6.html. Select that file and click Open. You are now able to view your HTML file in an editable view. Ordered lists allow you to create a list of items in a sequential order. So if you're providing instructions, you want folks to view things in a particular order, you can in fact use an ordered list. The way that ordered lists are displayed, however, it will default to a number. So 1 dot some item, 2 dot some item, 3 dot some item. There are other options available. For example, you can use uppercase letters, lowercase letters, capitalized Roman numerals, lowercase Roman numerals, and even more. Keep in mind that this particular element, OL, has a two-sided tag. So you're going to open with the OL and you'll close with the OL. We're only focusing on the parent element of OL. There is another child element that is required, which we'll cover shortly. With an unordered list, you're displaying items that have no particular order or do not require a particular order. So in essence, a true list of items. So if I were to ask you to provide a list of your favorite schools, a list of fruits, things of that nature would be included in an unordered list. As you can see, this is represented by the UL element, standing for unordered list, and it is a two-sided tag. So again, very much like the ordered list, this is the parent element for the list item. There are more, and we'll get to that next. One other thing you should know about the unordered list is by default the symbol that is represented or that represents the list is your bullet, so a solid bullet. There are other symbols that can be used. Eclipse, for example, can be used. You can also create an unordered list with customized images. So if you find a small image that you like to use, you can incorporate that into your website as well. You can get as creative or not as you choose with unordered lists. So we've talked about the container elements, OL for ordered lists and UL for unordered lists. It's now time to focus on the child element, which is LI, which stands for list item. This too has a two-sided tag, and it represents each item within your list. So in the example on the right hand side of your slide, you'll see that we have created an unordered list, and that unordered list is comprised of 3 items. Each of those items are surrounded by the LI element, two-sided tag. Now that you have an understanding of the 2 types of lists available, ordered and unordered, and you're well aware that they're comprised of list items indicated by the LI element, let's take a moment to go into your notepad file, and we're going to create both an ordered and an unordered list. To make this a bit easier to view, we're going to arrange our screen so that we can see half the browser window and half our HTML. With your notepad file open, you want to make sure that it has been restored. So using this button here, in my case it's already restored, so I can maximize or I can restore. Once that is restored, you want to go to your browser window, because remember, you should have both the browser view as well as the notepad view open. So I'll switch to Firefox, and I'm going to restore this down. If you're using Windows 8, this works beautifully. If you're using an older operating system, this may not work, and you may have to manually resize your windows by clicking and dragging. If you're using, not Windows 8, Windows 7. So you can click and drag the title bar, pull it all the way over to the left, and click your notepad window, click and drag, pull it all the way over to the right. So now I have my browser window on the left, notepad on the right. In our notepad file, you'll see my HTML elements here. Doc type is at the top, so those basic HTML elements that we discussed in our very first introduction to HTML5. There's my head element. You can see the content, week 6, getting started with HTML5 plus developing a website. That information is listed on the title bar / tab of the browser window. Of course, anything that needs to be contained on the page has to be contained within the body element. So here we have 2 paragraphs. Paragraph 1, and you can see that here. Paragraph 2, and you can see that here. Also note we have several comments in our code. So the first major comment is here. Remember, comments begin with the less than, exclamation point, dash dash, and are closed with the dash dash greater than symbol. So our first comment says insert ordered list here. So I'm going to click at the end of that comment, give myself some space here, and I do like to tab so that I can visually see how my elements are aligned. So I'm going to enter, it says ordered list, so the element is OL. And as a best practice, I tend to put in both my opening and closing so that I don't forget. There's my ordered list. Now we learned from the slides before, ordered lists are comprised of list items. So go ahead and input 3 list items. Remember, there are 2-sided elements. And if you would like to copy paste, by all means do so. So there's 3 list items. Now these list items have no information whatsoever. So let's see what this looks like. We'll do a file and save. We'll return to our browser window. Make sure it's our active window just by clicking on the title bar, and we'll refresh. And there's our ordered list. We wrote code to say create an ordered list with 3 list items. And that's exactly what we got, an ordered list with 3 list items. Keeping in mind the default value is the 1.2.3. Let's put some values in our list items. What I'd like for you to do, now that you see how this is done, I'd like for you to pause this video, take a moment and create an ordered list that provides us with the steps required to open a file in Notepad, to open an HTML file in Notepad. Okay, so you've had a few moments to go ahead and put values into your ordered list and perhaps even add another list item. So let's take a look excuse me, at my code here. Within the first list item, I have the text Open Windows Explorer, followed by Navigate to your file. Right-click the file, select Open with Notepad. These are the steps that you would use. There's another route, so your list items may be different than mine. I'm going to save my file and return to the browser window and refresh. And you'll see I have an ordered list with actual list items. Because you're familiar, or actually because ordered lists and unordered lists are quite similar in structure, I'd like for you to take a moment to create an unordered list of your own. And please notice in the code the comment here. You're going to create that unordered list beneath the comment. And within that unordered list, create a list containing 3 list items of your top 3 institutions. These could be community colleges, 4-year universities. They could be your favorite because of sports teams. They could be your favorite because of academic programs. But please provide an unordered list containing at least 3 list items. Those list items should be names of higher education institutions. Please pause the video, come back, and let's check out your results. Alright, so let's check out your unordered list. You'll see in my example I included an unordered list as indicated by the opening and closing UL elements. And I listed a total of 6 higher education institutions. I'll save my HTML file, make my browser the active window, and refresh. And there is my list of higher education institutions. Again, an unordered list means that these have no sequential order, no rank. They are simply a list. It is simply a list of items.